Welcome, everybody. Derek, I am.
Please go ahead.
Something cut on my screen. Yeah. Derek, never end up Mama Africa without one. Because many people are called Mama Africa, but I am Mama Africa 1, and one day we'll make a whole webinar to help people understand the meaning of that one. Before I come to talk about myself, the one means it is Africa that delivered America. And it is Africa that re-established Europe. So it is a name to educate both sides. It is time we go to take that mother whom we have been brutalizing. She is devastated. She is lamenting. She is down on the ground. And yet, for us to live peacefully on our globe, it's time we go to this mother, take her in our arms, clean her tears, and tell her, Mama Africa, I love you. Black and white, Asia and Africa, Latin America and Europe, because it's time. So one day I'll give you the full details of Mama Africa 1. And it's the only one we have. And if we do not go to take this mother again and nurse her wounds, wipe her tears and say, Mama, I love you. You may come from outside and you think I want to destroy Africa. But Africa has a name, it's called Ifritete in our language. It is original. Before you destroy Africa, you will go down before Africa. Look at the shape of the continent. It's like the form of heart. And the heart is the life we have. Africa is the heart of our globe. Mama Africa 1. You got it, Derek?
Yes, Mama, we got it.
Yeah, so now we move on. So, hello, good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for making out your time. And Derek, I have to be certain, did you put my image there first or I need to show up somewhere?
Yes, so I'm sharing the screen from my side. So you can
All
just.
right, and
yes.
My image?
Yes, no, your image is here.
Gone.
Yeah, your image is showing. I can see
All
it.
right,
yeah.
So when my image comes, the screen, your sharing goes away. So how would it work today?
I think you would have to press a setting to see the other videos or something to show. We have a part where you have to show the video or the thumbnail or something. Yes, because we can see you. Yes, we can see you and we can see
Before I started, I tried all the I tried all the knobs there. So if I get this one, anyway.
Yes.
Let's save the time. So to start with myself, I will introduce myself as that baby who was doctored in her mother's womb, being born by a mother who was specialized in traditional African medicine, and an uncle who was the professor in traditional African medicine. I grew with it, and just like a part of the everyday life we have back home, it is part of the training. So my main specialization was more in fertility before the woman delivered. What you have to do to cleanse your system, purify your body before you even got married. Got married, I'm saying, because you also counsel the women into marriages and all those things we consider traditional, but today it has names. So I grew up I migrated to Europe my professional background initially has absolutely nothing to do with medicine. And after working with the United Nations for the International Telecommunication Union, through my activities, I got to know my German husband, and this is how I ended up in Germany after we've lived there in Ghana for some time. So I've been living in Germany since 1995. I got into the medical world after I discovered that going back to the UN was not going to be easy because of the children. So I wanted to study something that will make me nurse the home as a mother and a wife, and at the same time be able to integrate in social life. And I also observed something peculiar in Germany, that the mindset was not ready for integration of foreign people. So I decided to do something which at worst I could be on my own. So that has been the reason. And if you got into that field in Germany, to become self-employed is easy. So I started studying into medicine, specializing in the area of dermatology. I discovered in the course of the pharmacology that over 80% of everything that my mother taught me, over everything that my uncle taught me as medicine, is the basic material behind the industrial medicine, which is repackaged and brought back to us. Some of them synthetically reproduced, but mostly we need the basic material from nature for our body to be able to absorb it. Well, you always need the basic before it could really work. And I was mostly confused when it came to that area, but whatever the case, I did the best out of it and passed out and started working. And when I discovered the truth from both sides, also talking about my childhood, I started nursing my grandmother at the age of 6. So I was, I understood the power of touch, that the power of touch is the art of communication. So when somebody is sick and the person came, it is not about your medicine. It's about you revitalizing the person's soul through your love. And this comes through the attitude, your approach to the person, the way you listen to the person, just to give the person a feeling that she's the most important person on earth. So working in that area, I have been very successful, but then living in a country which is highly integrated in the production of synthetic medicine, you are again a victim in several ways. But I am incurably optimistic. That's one of the things we should learn tonight. When you lie down, look up. If you can look up, you can always get up, no matter what. So if I should write down my agonies trying to integrate in Europe, and especially in a strong country like Germany in medicine. And fortunately, unfortunately, on my side, I also live in the very city where we have Germany's pharmaceutical company. So I am always sad like this. But we still never give up. I have studied deeply into medicine. And the more I study into medicine, the more I get the truth that everything that our ancestors knew, everything that our environment is, everything that they taught us is the real truth. And this is what we have to go back and take it and build our lives out of it. I mean, everything. So I have been fighting this fight politically, both ways international, to liberate us from the hindrances they put before us when we want to come out as Africans to speak. And the journey has not been easy. You are here to join me because in most cases, we have to come together so that with our strong voices, we can just tell the oppressor enough. So in the course of that fight, I happened to get into the Ghana Federation of Traditional African Medicine. My personal company is called Sankofa UG, but my fight has been, if we as a continent renamed my company, Sankofa, to be traditional African medicine, then we could compete with the global market because we have Ayurveda from the Indian world. It covers Pakistan, Sri Lanka, India. They are so much successful. They have operations in the German hospitals. History tells us that Britain forbade the Indian people from using Ayurveda. Yet, as Ayurveda was revived after independence, today we have more Ayurveda universities and clinics in England than any other European country. So we come to Chinese and then they are TCM. And most of the things they take from our source, especially Ghana, Madagascar. And they have been able to operate that in some areas in Europe, like when you go to Holland and Barracks or whatever they call in England, they think a peculiar tree like moringa is from China, but it's never true. And all this we gave to the Chinese because somebody is sitting on our rights, back home from our own authorities and over here. So where we are as a people, until we turn it around through you, the youth, and give you the keys and ask you, go, open it yourself. Go. Open it before you come back. I am here as a mother waiting. And let that person get up to molest you like the way they did with us. Then it's over. So I'm here. I need you to take the key. That will open you. That will liberate you mentally, physically, economically. Everything is ready. That's what I'm giving you today, and it's global. That is much to my being a queen mother for the Ghana Federation of Traditional African Medicine. So now with them as a group, with a population of 40,000 people officially registered as medical people. We have professors among us. We have herbal medical doctors among us. We have the traditionalists, we have the spiritualists, we have the pastors, we have it all. And all this together built up the general medical spectrum, which the other person has. All this together build up the Ayurveda branch, which the Indians have. All this together built up the Chinese TCM. Yet Africa has no name. And this is what I get up and I give you the keys. And all we need is to come together. When the professor will use his title to write the book, when the queen or the chief will give you the rights to the land, when the politician will allow you to do what? Go and negotiate through the institutions set up so that we'll be able to penetrate into the global market. This is what we have to give to you, the youth. And we are here, and I'm advising every single chief, queen, authority in any position over here. If you are in any particular position, you refuse to give the keys to the youth, you are killing your own future, you are killing those children, and you are killing their unborn children, because the decision you are taking today, give me a break. How old are you? If anybody beyond the age of 50 deciding for you in the global 2063, the person must immediately. That's all what I can tell you. Give the keys to the children. And for those who are Christians, and that's how I will say it, because Ghanaians love going to church a lot. Jesus said it. Let the children come unto me, for those ones belong to the kingdom of God. The youth are the flower in summer. The youth is the spring after winter. The youth is the fertility of the land. The youth is the strength of the nation. Any group of people, even in the plant world, in the animal world, any institution without younger ones dies. So your competitors have put in every capacity in terms of money, liberation, legal protection, global integration. They have been given the keys. The only one whose right is still being held by the authorities is the African. And I am here to tell you, we don't need to fight with them, but we have what it takes, and we just go to them and say, here we have the product, just give us the document. Nothing more, nothing less. So this is my program there as a Queen Mother. And then we come to the foundations. We have the 1's Sankofa Investment International, where we nurse your idea with you as a youth. When we come to talk of humanity, creativity, development, it has different branches, and everybody has a dream. So we come together with you, move with you, understand your dream. We nurse it with you, we finance it with you, and if your product will get to the global market, we take it there with you. And this is your birthright. So if our parents are not giving it to us, when we come together in unity, in trust, loyalty, commitment, we can do it ourselves. That's why I'm here to meet you today. So thank you. I prepared something to give you a little history. And if I have to give today's project a name, I will call it Why We Are Where We Are. So I wrote a story this way. Once upon a time, and if we were to be together in a room, we say time. There existed a place on earth. It had no name at the time. There were groups everywhere. Today they call it Africa. And this space was occupied by the original people, full of adventures. They woke up in the morning, they knew their environment, they went hunting, they went fishing, they did everything for their daily survival. And they had the fields, which they made very good use of it, to gather their medicines, to gather their food, to gather their cosmetics. They understood their environment. And one day, a new species entered into their territory. The first one who got up on the place, he entered up in Ghana in a place called Edna, today Elmina. Elmina was named by the Dutch people, means it was full of mines, minerals. So this species, after entering there, they got to know. Those people were full of love. The citizens over there were full of love. They were full of unity. They were full of peace, harmony existed among themselves. But the new species, they had lived in a place where they had their own problems. So the joy that the living species over there gave to them became an abuse. So how did it come? They had observed to see that they were in a place of scarcity. They were living in a place where they were fighting for survival. So that was the cause of the war in Europe at that time. And then they realized this new place they came to, everything was there, paradise. In fact, our ancestors had designed the gold in the form of a guitar. So we played guitar made out of gold. That's how rich we are. Now they just observe from source and thought. We have to do something to take away what they, so that we will rule them. But the species living there were so open, so innocent, so welcoming, so human. So they did not understand the tricks of the other one. Now, the plan was made through strategies, renaming and rebranding everything that the old species were. So if, for example, we take something like a needle, the Akans call it pansy. Pansy means take it and sew your clothes. So if you have a cloth and it got torn, and you could take the pansy and sew it, the name already told you what you have to do. Now, this species gave it a name. Some called it Nadel, that is the German one. Some called it needle, that is the British one. The French and the Italians gave it names. So the Igbos, the Gans, the Hausas, the Goma people from Congo, their original name from needle got missing out of their mental function. So now you take the needle and you don't know that you use the needle to sew your cloth. It's needle. But the original name made you understand that use it to sew. So it was the object and the action. That's the way we named ourselves. So once they changed those systems, they structured it through institutions called education, called the church, called medical sectors. So the more they gathered all the human functions and instituted it into their own, the old species did not know anything about the plan. So they just suddenly became victims in the whole game. They change your language, they change everything that you are. So if we come to practical functions, we have like Otomfo, that is the blacksmith. We have Odrimfo, that is the goldsmith. We have Osenfo, that is the carpenter. We have Onunsini, that is the doctor. We have Osorini, that is the Christian or the Muslim. We have Okonfo, that is the pastor. We have Awujini, that is the midwife. So this is just to give you a few of the names we had, which indicates to you that we were already structured before that person came. Now, the Ebusia Penyin, being the elder of the clan, became an MP politically. When the chief also became, I don't know their political names today, but if we should divide ourselves into regionally, then we have the MP, we have the DCE, and it's the same thing with the chief and the Ebusia Penyin, and then the sub-chiefs. We had all the structures, but they renamed it and took it all away gradually, but surely, but it was such a very sneaky thing. So it's like, oh, you are so much a nice friend. How can I just do this with you? Why don't you just tell it this little way and it would be so nice? We did it that when it was so perfect. And in your very crude thinking, because your environment made you that crude, because it provides you everything that you need. If it is your cosmetics, it grows on trees. If it is your food, it grows on trees. Even everything. So you just kept sharing without knowing that this person who came to join doesn't have a good plan with you. So the outcome of the situation is now the glorious ancestral life you lived that involved the sanity of your environment, giving you a meaning. God is in the river, God is in the ocean, God is in the earth, God is in the tree, God is in the plant, God is in the fellow human being. So when you go to take the good things from God as medicine, before you pick it, you pray. When you go to take the fruit, you give thanks. When you had abundant catch from the ocean, you give thanks. And there is nothing so religious than saying thank you. And this we did. Right. Today, I don't need to tell you how the environment looks as we started serving God in an abstract way. God is somewhere else. So you eat and you drink and you throw the junk just there without knowing it's God's chamber. And the very place which was once a holy place is full of junk today. And as you, a human being, just an ordinary container, you are just an empty container. All you do is you feed your system with food. You feed your system with water, and you feed your system with the air that you breathe. These three things form you. So now, when you have consumed those things from nature, and it gives you balance, that gives you your emotional and your general vital feeling, or destroys your general vital feeling because the immunity comes out of those things you are consuming. How did it come that when we used to serve our ancestral gods, it was our responsibility? The farmers went on days that they did not farm to clean the village. And I can still remember my mother proudly saying, oh, today we are going to clean the city. Oh, the post office area. Oh my God, today it looks so beautiful. Ah, the post office. She will sing it the whole day because the post office was the only thing that they had there as an external entity in the village. And to get to the post office, it's like, wow. So she'll keep on talking about the post office with pride. Environmental protection was so peculiar for Mommy. If you dared wash your clothes and you pour the water in a direction that when it rains, it will go into the river. He had a special way of just pulling this finger out, and he will give you a knock. You will go hippity hop. When you just want to do that again, you look left and right, and then you will think, I have to put the water minimum 100 meters away from the river so that the osmosis will take place, because that same river will become food on the table for you. So it's time we begin to cross-check our deeds today. If in the face of Jesus Christ, if in the face of Allah, the ocean is a chunk of plastic, a suit up and down. But ancestrally, the ocean was that huge, omnipotent. So we called it Nana Bosompo. And when we've had a bumper card, we went to bring a Thanksgiving offering. The beach of my village was so wide. that when the Armenian came to build his hotel there, he named it White Sands, all for him to invent all the international junk, which the people did not know how to recycle out of the environment, to destroy and steal the lagoon, which was the substitute of existence. Because ancestrally we knew sustainability is not a language, it's a practical life. So when you have fished in the ocean for some time, you set a period aside during the rainy season. They observed and saw that people get accidents when they go fishing with the canoes. So they also don't get a good catch. And then again, they observe the farming season has a peculiar rain time so that they will be able to do what? Get time to go farming. They stop going to the ocean to fish, and they fish from the lagoon. The adventure of women carrying buckets under their armpits and running, and 3 women will sit under the trees and then spread their legs and catch fish with their fingers in the name of development project. One person who came to build his hotel there, charging 7,500 Ghana cedis per night. His claw water, which is filled in the swimming pool, together with his cesspit, is today the source of feeding the lagoon. And the claw has killed all the fishes inside it. And then the other side is full of the industrial junk. And he even changed the natural location of the lake. And all this we do in the name of development. How developed could you be if the lake, which fed the whole village, becomes a property of a person, not even originating from the place to know how you ancestrally honored your environment? And after building a high wall to block osmosis from the cemetery, because when we die, we oxidate. So having the ocean lying southwards and then the breeze coming from northwest, this is how the nature cleanses the environment. So if you build a wall of a certain height, you block the air from the people. And the air you breathe is your life. These are the things we are going to get together to go and check on those who so-called brought investment into our territories and what they are doing with us. It's time we talk. It's time we confront them. It's time we cross-check. If you came to destroy the lagoon and employed 150 people and the whole village lost the lagoon, did you do as good? Now I put you yourself into the question. The adventure of the women going for the with the bucket to fish, the seafood that grew on the stones. After eating that thing, even the shells is a very beautiful artistic thing. The hotel in Germany where you find that thing, those from Ghana may understand me. Adante is called. Those shells is a treasure. Go to Monaco, and if you just got a little portion of that, hey, you are the rich tycoon who owns a €1 million yacht, and yours is being destroyed by one person. The last 30 years, this is what has gone on. I'm not there to concentrate on that. I am moving on to Sankofa so that we are going back to take our own. And this is what Derek allowed me to talk about Mama Africa 1. We are going back. If you came to build that hotel there, then allow the tradition to be converted into an adventurous project where The bottles we used to fish in the lagoon will become an adventure. The cone from the coconut, which we use to design, to have it drive on the lake because it flows slowly. It will become the shape that the tourist will take with him to his country. All those things which doesn't exist in somebody's country, that's why they come there as tourists. So if you came to build a tourist project and you block the citizens completely from your function, putting uniform on Ghanaians with a pistol standing there, it's time you join me and we just go in a very, very, very human way. If this is not happening in Monaco, if this is not happening in Switzerland, if this is not happening in Holland, if this is not happening in Mallorca, oh yeah, get it done. No discussion. And make sure you integrate the local activity, which will make the child, the youth who has studied art, use those shells to design that beautiful artwork and sell it over there so that when the person comes to enjoy in your 7,500 per night hotel, you could leave 100 cedis for the resident in the village. The same way, all the agricultural things they grow over there, be their groundnut. And this reminds me, the very lake I'm talking about, in the dry season, it dried up and we had edible salt. Do you know how much that thing means in medicine? A lot. A lot. Briefly, I ended up by saying we are at the point of charity and not charity. And how did we get there? Because the very people who have stolen your ideas, who have stolen your identity, who have stolen your everything that you are, they took some of us to the other side. They took away their language, they took away their names. Until today that I'm talking to you, I'll get a time and we will really have another webinar on the injustice being played on us. And we still look on to that in a global world. And it's time we gather and then give a warning to somebody. Besides George Floyd, it's still going on. These policemen are trained. You have those points of your body over here on the left side. Your lymph lane and your blood lane joins here to get into your heart. So when somebody holds you here at the left side for a few minutes, he can kill you. And these people are trained, so they know where to hold your son. These are the things I did. And you know what? I don't want to cry, so I'm going to move on. But you're going to join me. Whoever that chief is, who gave away your land, for that person to take your gold, destroy your river, have you deliver limbless children, a baby without nose, a baby without eyes. These were the things our ancestors could instinctively relate to. So they made sure that that place is holy. We don't go there. They did not study anything science, but they were the best scientists. So today, as I talk to you, you have a peculiar globulin. Let me just use the slow word here. Globulin, we call it, and it's called IgM. That thing is like a sieve. It starts to filter your placenta, that nothing evil will get in there. And this is the marvelous work of God. So if you had anything metal into that womb, it will cause the baby's deficiency and you deliver a disabled child. So let us just assess our ancestors who said, don't go to the place, don't go to the river. When my uncle was living and worked, he walked 25 kilometers in the morning and in the evening to a place where nobody stepped, because there he brought a medicine for the people. About 25 years ago, when scientists were researching into the tree of life, they went to the Amazonas and they looked for a place where nobody has stepped. So I'm giving you two pictures here. My uncle did not go to school and did not read anything science, but he went to pick the medicine from a place where nobody goes. And it was such a holy, sacred place. There was some special, how do you call this bird? Ducks. They were immaculate white. And how those ducks lived in the place, and there were no human beings there, and they lived. This proved the purity of God in nature. And there he picked these medicines. Today, as I talk to you, even the soil in which you pick the medicine is no more. Yes. So your soil is gone. They did the research without you. They preach to you in the church. That child who has got, that lady who has got a child is the auntie in the corner who is a demon. I have lived 1995 to today in Germany, and I've gone to all the German churches. Catholic, Evangelical, Freikirchliche Kirche, Baptism, and I have never come by a pastor who is preaching and delivering demons. So it's time we dialogue with our faith. What was the fetish priest doing evil that made her become evil? And what are you, the pastor, doing better? That today, God's changed the very earth on which we live. Every step we put on this earth is God's chamber. So what you will not put in your chamber, if you will put it outside there, and then you go to church, and you go to sit there, and you sing, holy, 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 holy is the Lord God Almighty. What is holy about you? If the food you eat is the junk in the ocean which comes back to your table as fish, if the water you drink is that metal sulfur which is coming from the northern region to join your river, and even if it's from Ghana, it ends up in Togo, and it goes on and goes on, and it ends up in the ocean, which is just our stomach. Everything you eat here gets into your stomach. So if you get the natural anatomy scientifically, and you understand nature and its formulation, you will know that our ancestors understood it one, and it's only one. They understood it one by one, and the one by one is still one. That your container as information, container that you take information in, delivering information out, putting it into action for you to get your emotions. It's the same thing with the earth. Yes, that tree over there protects the soil. The ocean is the stomach. So before you get any terrible disease, if it got into the digestive system, only there and then all the evil starts. So how does our life look if today the ocean, which ancestrally we used to treat widows, do you know why they did that? The ocean is full of magnesium, and magnesium helps you to sleep. So when you are undergoing a very, very sorrowful situation, like losing a loved one, and they have you go and swim in the ocean, as you swing your arms this way, as you swing your arms this way, all this rib area, we call it thorax, you are exercising it. And as you keep on exercising that, you are bringing in movement, circulation, so that the sorrow that will just dampen your heart. At least there is some movement. And as you keep on swimming, you may drink in some of the ocean water that will get into your brain and give you some sleep. They understood God. And we have to go back. My only brother, he lived at Akwiti in Ghana on the Winneba Road. When they started blasting the mountains over there, his body could not stand it. These days, they put this dynamite in there and all the children and the animals will be running away. The houses, and nobody cares about these species. It is planned over here. Oh, you are going to be a building contractor in Ghana and you need to get a Ghanaian company to get you the soil, and you go as a Ghanaian to Fete, Senya, Bodrase, Bunturase, and you just ooze your tractor into somebody's coconut farm, mango farm, groundnut farm, and you blow it down for you to take the soil. What should your children eat? Oh, Mofra, yes, Sante, Mofra, yes, Sante, Mofra, yes, Sante. I'm going to the solutions. Derek, let's move on. Hello, Derek.
Hi, Mama. Yes, we are on the next slide.
Can we move on, please?
Yes, we are on the next
now
slide.
you have the key.
Yes.
So disclosing new solutions and approach to Africa's global integration. I travel a lot. And many a time, when I'm the only Black single nut, I turn around and I ask myself, where are they? We are so many. And it's mostly when you run the business trotters in Europe, you don't see any of us. When we put in the effort to do a letter, and the people here, they send their observers again to come and observe us. Let us take, for example, we are running an African festival. So they come and you have people who come from Northern Africa. They are called Tuareg people. They have special jewelries. It is a traditional thing. You have the Senegalese and the Kenyans coming with the Kenyans like the marble design. The Senegalese like textile designs. The Gambians, and they come to gather all those ideas. As for Ghana, I'm a Ghana. That country, we need to come together, set a day aside, repent of the day we received the first Portuguese at the shores of Elmina, which was the origin of the evil we caused ourselves till today. Because where the evil was caused, there you have to detangle it. That curse is still upon Ghana. Because as I'm talking to you today, the truth is you go to all the conferences, then they will tell you, if only we can channel it through Ghana, we get the whole of Africa. What are you doing wrong? If your over-friendliness is making you become a on the table and your children have become a buffet on the table for others, is that the time to think? If what you have been doing is no more benefiting you, but it's rather oozing away your resources to the other side, don't you just take time to think? And you continue doing the same thing. The key, as you see there, is in your hands. I am giving you the key today. Be it your textile world, be it your jewelry world, everything that you brought in here through your own adventure to display in Germany, Holland, Switzerland, Austria, in the holidays, Britain, it has again become their product. If you should know, the last 10 years, how much the Ghana's Cape Coast University has delivered as information to Germany, Holland, Austria, it's not a European country that's actively involved with you. Let me tell you guys, slavery has not stopped. It is now mental. So now the guy will come. She can see those my beautiful earring made out of bamboos. And then she can see, okay, I wore it and somebody liked it. Or I wear my beautiful headgear and then I go to the city and then you have this little German blonde child looking at me. Oh, I said, okay, you know what? I know you like it. I'm going to get the kid design and then you wear it. The mother is happy at it. This is a way to assess the market. And if this is your product, then you and me, we have to redesign it and bring it to them. Because in the form of professors, politicians, chiefs, and all authorities of any kind are not ready to talk with us. And I'm talking to you as a person who has been banging at doors and gone on my knees and begging Ghanaian authorities, please, this is not a way. I'm going to give you an example. I just go to an MP and say, hey, what negotiation do you have with the countries which Ghana has business negotiation? What do you discuss? Now he will tell me. We tell them to take care. We have a how do you call it? Friendship table. So what is friendship table? Yeah, we tell them to take care of, good care of our people. No, that is not my question. I am asking you, which business negotiation do you have with Germany as a place where I live? That the Ghanaian resident in Germany like me, I could build my clinic, I could establish my pharmacies, and you have laws that will protect me as a Black, as a Ghanaian, that I'm allowed to operate like anybody. They don't have an answer. He doesn't know. And the only answer is, but we have our Casaprako things on the shelves. You just have to pack your things and go. How did it come that you meet the Ghanaian in suit at the airport? Oh, I'm coming from a conference. We are going to run a conference on cocoa in Israel. Did you see any cocoa seed over there? To the extent of you going to ask 18-year-old Israeli children to come and teach you to farm when you don't respect the Ghanaian farmer at Bobiase. You have chopped the trees from Gomuafete, Akweti, all the way to Aksim. Go and see the kachuk trees over there. The number of farmers who died as we chopped their trees. Go from Adesu, Eskesu, Mipom, all the way to Nsawam. It's no different. It has started from the coastal area and gone all the way to Bangahafo region, where that poor woman came in and you were a queen mother. You go to sell the land of a farmer and you have Chinese people standing in there chopping it off. While the Chinese is chopping off the trees of that same youth, his parents, the same Chinese has a stick hitting that boy as he gets off the shores of Ghana to go and look for daily bread. Hey, we are going to turn it around. I have turned it around, and all I'm saying is take this key. Derek, let's move on. Derek? Am I getting Derek?
Yes, we are on the next.
Do you know what? Let us scroll it. Let us scroll everything that we have, and then we'll come back to assemble it one by one for them to know what we are about to offer.
Okay. So do you want me to go through the slides or?
Yeah.
Okay. So we have the environment, we have tourism.
No, the pictures as well.
Okay, yes. So you can look at the pictures of the environment. So, and this for tourism. Mama, I hope you can see.
I can see it.
You can see, yeah, because I think everyone else can see the presentation.
All right.
Yes.
Okay.
So yeah, we are on tourism now. These are pictures of the engineering activities as well. Packaging materials, medicine, sustainable architecture, sustainable furniture, textiles and designs, cosmetics. Yes, majorly those. Yes, Mama, please, you can go ahead.
All right. So may I get some of your pictures, please?
Yes.
Thank you.
So which pictures do you want us to?
I have only the keys. Yeah, let us scroll one after, just like you did. I need to see it over here so that I will just disclose to ourselves what we can do with what.
Yes, I think I don't know how you are not able to see it, but the screen is being shared now. Yeah, so you should check on your Zoom screen. You should see this presentation.
Actually, I had okay, now let me just have my own screen scrolling here. That will also work.
Yes.
So we have the agriculture.
Yes.
Yes. Now you can see me there in my hat too, with my black trousers. Can you see me with the hoe?
Yes.
I love doing this because this reminds me of that child who would just be with the mother on the farm. I told you, right from the womb. So to go from here to Africa, to Ghana, and do that weeding, I have designed a tourist project out of it. You pay me 3,500 euros to come and weed for me as a tourist in Ghana, because when I came, you didn't give me your garden to work in it free. Thank you. This is my heart, and I really love sleeping here. To wake up in the morning and have that beautiful breeze usher you in. There is nothing so healthy. And as we move on, you see other adventures we have on the same farm, and then we move on. Everything over there is medicine. This one is very, very good for the teeth. Let's go. So are we now with the environment?
Yes, we are with the environment.
Okay. So as we talk of the environment, we will also get to our engineering aspect, where I will explain to you how we are able to engineer our own machines to recycle the trash. So I mentioned to you already how the lagoon, which the women used to catch fish inside, everything throughout the year, and then they will move to the ocean side. This is the junk surrounding there. This is just one of it. It's over 10, this heap surrounding the places. So as we move on, we'll see how we generate our income, and then we go to gather the people, and then we pay them very well, like 10 euros a day, and then we gather this, and then we turn it into pavement blocks, and out of the pavement blocks, we design the toilets. And the toilet is also bio-refill, so it is a substance we could take to refill the surface of the soil, which has been removed and has taken away the fertility of the land. So over here, you can see the neem tree, which is very, very healthy. This is also the neem. And there's another very healthy material just at the shores. So, oh, Derek, I would have really loved to see the ocean. Do you have my ocean with you there?
Yes.
The Fete Ocean.
It's in the tourism, yes, I think.
Yeah, now we are tourism. You have it there.
Yes.
Oh, that beautiful thing gives me a lot of happiness. I don't have it here, but I mean, to describe it to you, you can just see how beautiful the village is designed, like the form of a kidney, and the ocean, its beauty. So this is a place which tourism alone can feed the whole Ghana because of its beauty. Okay? If, for example, you have a place like Mallorca, and because the people preserved its ocean, just an apartment costs 4 million euros in Mallorca. And that place is occupied by British, German, and Dutch, very rich people. It's the same thing with Monaco. The village, the country is so small, but as rich people, they have designed it for themselves just to avoid ordinary people from coming in. And I go to the such place that in a world where one person could gather even allowed just to stay in a political asylum home in Germany. I can't sleep. We go to places, my husband will ask me, when will you relax and just enjoy? Maybe it has to do with my name. My original name is Nyamiche. Nyamiche in the Ghanaian language means God's gift. I can be happy only when I see the other person happy. That's me. So I am living at the very wrong era in a world which is full of injustice. We can do the same thing if we took environment back and honored it as our ancestors did. This we can do. The reason for building this toilet, I have to go back. Derek, please move back to the toilet. Just to push it inside the toilet. And we built 20 pieces of this at every point around the coastal point in the village where they were using as a toilet themselves, defecating on the ground. We built it so that you have absolutely no excuse not to go there and use it, not in the night, not when you have running stomach, everything we needed to provide you that was there. Electricity, water, everything. You know what happened to this toilet? The existing party, the members had been one-on-one with me when we did this cleaning. The NADMO authority at the time was a brother to the MP of the place and was a best friend to the DCE, and they were one with me. We built it, and we even have to put their name on it in honor of Honorable Ekwam. He was the DC. Okay, so can I continue, Derek? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now. I think you went off a bit, but I think you're back on.
They told me recording in progress, so I think it was a miscommunication between here and there.
No problem.
Yeah, so The pathetic part of it is when they wanted to break down the toilet, they should have done it any other day. On the 6th of September, we had done the inauguration on the 6th of July. And exactly the 6th of September, being exactly 2 months, the very people who had come to dine and drink and dance with us, I got a live band. Because when you clear the place, it's just like coming out of a terrible disease. Whether you believe it or not, I had to bring their drinks from Europe. Those authorities, I had to pay them for driving their cars to the place just to observe what they were supposed to do and I came to do. And they broke. I don't know what is happening here, Derek. Is it coming from your side, Ghana?
No, I think everything is good here. I don't know. I think you're back on now. Yes. But then your video, if you could check it. I don't know. Yes.
So if the people can hear me, I think that's the most important thing. So at the end of the day, I got the information, and immediately that night, I got journalists, I got the police, I got a lawyer, I got a pastor. All those people went there. And yet they demolished the toilet as if nothing had ever taken place there, simply because they thought I'm interested in politics. By the way, I've never voted since I was born. I don't believe in politics because I'm my own practical politician. And why? You are put into that position to do just those things. So if you know that you can just come together as a community and then share the lot of resources that is available for the community for you to do it, why do you stand there?
Recording in progress.
I think that Mama Africa is having some connection problems, but I'm hoping she joins in again soon. Let's just wait a bit for her. Okay, I think she's on. Yeah. Hello, Mama Africa.
Yes. Can you hear me now? Okay.
Yes, we can hear
you. So for us to revive the life of the beach and turn it into a positive venture, so that if you have studied into tourism, opening up the tourism to suit your environment, selling that treasures which nature gave you, how much tourism come to invest into the country, how the child who has studied into catering could get something to do, how the other one could be a tourist attendant, a tourist guide, and it goes on and on and on and on. If you are overpossessed with position, so you will not do it, somebody come to do it. And I heard people saying, if this woman will stand as MP, we'll vote for her. She's not in the politics and she's doing this. But I have to be honest with you. I am not a bit interested in politics. That is the only thing I can do. But I am very interested in your life because it's your life first. And the politics will determine by itself. So if the place is clean and you could sell it as a product out there and create jobs for your children, this is what we should do as mothers and fathers. And that's what I love to do. So we are here on this platform so that we will turn it around. This is what we have to do. Where is my video?
Yes, I think your video is on now.
Yeah, can you see?
Yeah, I can see. You can see.
Okay. So as you can see out there under the tourism, these are patients. They are not only tourists, they are also patients that came to treat from cancer to psychiatric and everything. So this is what we do with our medicine. As we go along, we will see the other areas. Could we move on, please, to the next one?
Yes, please. We're on engineering activities now.
Okay, so the engineering. This is to prove to you that what Europe can do, America can do, Japan can do, we can do equally the same. Our problem until now has been that you've not been given the opportunity because somebody is just not trusting you. So it is up to you to make yourself trustworthy, deliver punctually, make it in your mind to produce quality, make sure that what the other person has done, you can do it better. And I mentioned those countries like America, Europe, you talk of Germany, Japan, they are famous in engineering. Britain comes in. As for the Chinese, they don't have a product. The only thing Chinese people cannot do is to produce anything quality. So you, the African, with that authenticness or authenticity, being able to design, as I mentioned earlier on, the, how do you call it? Mentioned earlier on, what they say is called blacksmith. It has to bring it into engineering. So I have to tell you a little childhood story. You know what we did with those blacksmith people? We would just go and stand. They had a lot of, how do you call it, palm kernel, and that's what they used to make their fire. And when they are working on it, we just go and sing. And if they've got us, they will eat us alive. We'll go and sing it and run away. Why am I sharing this? These are some of the things they infused even into us as children through that colonial era for us to disgust ourselves from ourselves. That is why we are where we are today. Those machines were all designed by Ghanaians. We just talk of the tourism. And because I can't share your screen here, I don't know if this one should. Derek, did you have the bicycle on the tourism side? The floating bicycle?
Yes, we do. We have the floating bicycle.
Okay, so that floating bicycle, as you see the top white with the black legs, it is or ties. It is just this floating material which is put inside so that it will float on the ocean or on the river. And this is a tourist project designed by a Ghanaian called Philip Darkon. I got Philip Darkon's information on the WhatsApp, and I did everything possible to look for him. And Philip is today part of our engineering group, advancing these things into a tourist project so that we'll be able to create jobs out of it and also get to the global market with it. These other ones are engineering machines for the processing of our medicines. Mr. Blanson has been the engineer behind, and just exposing this, we have categorically, like in any profession, those who are also highly advanced, like you come to talk of Professor Afoche with his engineering background, you come to talk of somebody like Mr. Hamadra, a lot around. How do we systematically come together, work with one another with respect, trust, loyalty? And I'll come back to mention respect, trust, loyalty. because these are the qualities that we lack among ourselves when we come together. It will marvel you. You get a Black person to come and work for you in Germany. The moment you come to see your Blackness, his level of attention to the job decreases. The same person who would just get up at the winding of the clock and run to change the train to go and clean somebody's ship. If you got her to employ, Black people destroy each other, we will get to that level and make seminars and webinars on that for us to know what we are doing wrong. That can seriously eating us up. So I don't buy one machine from any other country. I have 30 minutes drive to go to Mönchengladbach and get the machines, but I pay the Ghanaian that amount. Say, get it, this is the German price. Make sure you design it to suit the German standard. And we've had Ghanaians design the machines to go beyond German standard. And if you are able to design a machine to suit German standard as an engineer, to go beyond a Japanese standard as an engineer, as for China, we don't talk about it. And also the need for us to patronage, believe in the fact that as we patronage the Made in Ghana one, this is how we will inspire the youth to build it more. Going to buy it from Germany, going to buy it from Britain, going to buy it from America, Japan. Had somebody not given them the opportunity to do it, will they come this far? The journey of 1,000 miles starts to the first step. Let's move on, please. By the way, here Frank has also designed those blue and black containers. This is just a normal container you could move around to collect the litter. Okay, so now I am with packaging materials. Are you there?
Yes, please, we are on there.
Right. As you can see here, we have this packaging material designed out of bamboos. We have this one as a, how do you call it, a flask. And then this teacup, and then the container here. So as we sell our traditional African medicine on the global market, do we necessarily need to go for the foreign packaging material? How do we create jobs for ourselves? We need to add value to our own bamboos, our own materials around to be able to give it an authentic name. So if you gave me this set and I prepared the medicine in this, as I package the medicine in this and I pour it inside here for you, and as we use the same medicine to prepare the wines, this I call love brewed in an African pot. Drink it and you'll. Can you hear me now?
Yes, please, we can hear you now. Yeah, we can.
So now we come to the medicine. So using the same machines, we have a glass factory in Ghana. So even for the advanced country sales or the international, this is when I was talking about the negotiations. We have every right to negotiate. Germany, Holland, Britain. If you call for the global development, then we are part of the globe. Though you hid behind closed doors and planted Gene 7, Gene 7, Gene 8 means global 7, global 8. Which kind of globe exists without Africa? The source and the resource of it all. It's time we talk one-on-one. So I am So I was saying, I'm not going to buy your packaging materials from your end, and you are not going to insist on any WHO law which will forbid me from operating if all the others have their packaging materials. Then Africa has every right to bring out the best packaging materials. And these things have to be supported by the standard board the FDA, but I tell you, your own people, they are the worst sabotagers. That's why we are going to group together. We need a group of people who are politically inclined to go and lobby. I have banged their doors. I don't want to go there anymore. I want to join up with you. For me to be productive, I would like to work with you. But then, as others are going to sell the things, you get the money to employ others who are interested in politics. Go. I will just push out the information to you. Go. Ask them this. Tell them that. When there's a need for me to come in there, I am just marching there into the office of the Ghana Trade Tower, where you have the Ghana Chamber of Commerce, Mr. Mwako sitting on one side, and then you have the German, Mr. Martin, sitting in the same premises. The German is accurate with everything she's supposed to do to support the German before she comes to invest over there. The same thing is with the French, the same thing with the Lebanese, the same thing with the Chinese. And you go to Mr. Mwako, and he will tell you, my responsibility at the Chamber of Commerce is limited to Ghana. Are we talking of global language? And this is why I told you earlier on, they are sitting on your noses. If you join me, how we will shake them, whether they like it or not, they will do it because you have to leave. They have lived already and you must leave. This is our packaging in Europe. Derek, let's move on, please.
To medicine.
Now we have the sustainable architecture. So as you can see here, these are the sustainable architectural group we have who design our environment this way so that we, can you hear me?
Yes, please. Yes, you can be heard now.
Okay, so this is the way you could design our sustainable architecture in clinics and everything so that we have the people come from Europe, from all over the world to get treatment from traditional African medicine. And if we use those materials to design, because they are environmental friendly, even to wake up in those premises, Derek, hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. We can hear you. Actually, we are on sustainable architecture.
So let's move on to the next.
Yes. Which sustainable furniture?
Pardon?
Sustainable furniture.
Come again, please.
The next one is sustainable furniture.
Oh, now your voice is even breaking.
Can you hear me now? Hello? Hello, Mama Africa? Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes.
So now we have a look into the structures and development.
Yeah.
Derek is so good at imagining things. So these pictures, he got it from the advanced countries with the skyscrapers and everything. Those just to give you a picture of how things are done over here. But with these structures, we could have a few in our big.
Hello, Mama. Please, are you there? Hello? I think, yeah, she's still there, but I don't know why we cannot possibly hear her. Hello, Mama Africa? Can you hear me? Hello, Mama Africa? Could you please check your audio? I think she's muted.
Yeah. Hello?
Great. Yeah, now you're muted.
Better?
Yes, yes.
Okay, I can see the problem. When I go to the video,
Yes.
then the mute comes on. There's a problem over there. Anyway, so as we look into the structures and development, just to give you an idea, but this type of building is also needed in such a cold environment because it kind of gives us warmth. Too much of those things in Africa is also going to disturb human life because it takes away the air that we breathe. So you can just apply it as a flavor, but too much of it will not be the best for us. Just an information to know how it works here. On to the next. Yeah, so as we talk of what the global market expects, this is their own, but then we come here. Okay, so this is an European market, comparisons with other standards. This is an European market. We call it a reform house. And this is an African market. Do you see any difference? This is an African market in Europe. Do you see any difference? Darren, do you see any difference?
Yes, we do. Very clear difference.
Okay. And this is an African market in Europe. So if you are living in an environment like this is what the people are trained with. This is what they are used to. And you come offer
I think today Mama Africa's connection is giving her some problems. I'm hoping she's able to join us soon. We are going to be running up pretty soon. So just to let you know.
and this is the way you design your own. Are you declaring a picture about yourself? Derek, I want an answer.
Mama, I think we lost you on your previous speech because your connection went off. I don't know what happened. So if you could repeat yourself, so we could.
I was coming from what the global market expects. So you have the standard set up over there. And then we moved on to a comparison with the other standards. And then I showed a shop over here to be the standard known to the people here. And this is the standard of an African operating a shop. Here is the African one, and this is the Afro-Caribbean food market. So, but they are mostly owned by Africans. Now, because Africans are not in any way united, for them to be able to afford such a place, these places are very expensive. So what other group of people does, like the Turkish people, the Greek people, Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Yeah. So the Turkish, the Greeks, the Italians, all of them put themselves together so that they could rent the space this way. So departmentally, they run the institutions, and then their services, their expenses are less as they have few personnel and then more sales. This is the way to operate in an industrial country for you to be able to make ends meet, because it's a lot of, how do you call it? It's very expensive to own a shop here. It's very expensive when it comes to the taxes. It's very expensive. So if you could join together and get a better place and be able to display, because the display attracts the people to come in and buy or leave. So if you see this thing over here, even if you are passing by at a distance, it attracts you. If you see this thing over here, it's just like for a peculiar group of people. And Africans are so good at demonstrating themselves this way on the global market. And this is, again, taking away the possibility of you, the African youth, because this is what we displayed ourselves over here. Now, you have the right to have this shops here as we lead you through our Sankofa, 100 Sankofa investment activity, to have you understand this is the way it goes. If you have the shop this way, the German will come in because the aroma and everything is inviting. Now, the problem we have again is because you do it this way, the Chinese, the Indians started. The Indians started first, they put themselves together, and then they can rent a place like this and sell African foods. And Africans run there to buy it, leaving their own sister who is sitting in a small shop like this. And honestly, a place like Germany, nobody will give you opportunity on a very good street to come and display things like this over here. So they have a corner where they fix it. This is the standard we set for you when we got opportunity to come here. So there is so much that we need to come together and learn about ourselves to understand what we are doing wrong. Yes. And since we have I know where the problem is coming from. Many people are coming on the diaspora projects and whatever platform. So when the Indians put themselves together, if you go to Vienna in Austria, you have one Asian. He owns the whole street, north, south. He has the hair design here. He has the food items there. He has the catering items in another place, all on one road. All on one road, very huge. And all Africans ran there to buy from him. When he heard of me and came asking me, I should release my medicine to him. In fact, he was so self-sure. I was running an exhibition in Vienna and he heard of me. He came with his wife. They had planned the wife was to take over my cosmetic products and the husband was to take over the medicinal. I just smiled at him. And then he looked to me and said, if you love this way, I'll not buy your product. And I told him, I don't need your shit, man. And as an African, this is exactly the way you should be able to talk to somebody. All I don't need is your shit money. because I walk on the street of gold. Let's move.
Hello, Mama, can you see now?
Yeah, so now you can hear me.
Yes, we can
so
hear.
As you can see there, how unity influences global integration. People, your competitor, the European, is calling himself European Union. America destroyed Africa and called itself United States of America. And that was the beginning and the end of our agonies. Now, China is one, and they come in to take over. India is together with Sri Lanka, Pakistan, and the rest. The only people who are not together.
Hello, Mama. Oh, I think her audio is off now. Hello, Mama Africa. Can you hear me now?
Consumer better on time comes so forth, it shall be a problem. Yes, may help.
Hello, we can hear you now.
So, yeah. So we were at the point of unity and how unity influences global integration. And I was just briefing you that everybody we are competing with, from Europe as European Union, America as United States, India is one now, China sat behind closed doors and planned everything against you before they came, like all of them. And they can all penetrate easily into us because we have a very poor system. The professor has no relationship with the chief has no relationship with the politician. We are like to convert my quotes, on and on. Yeah. So the whole thing is, if you are fighting with so many people as an individual, will you succeed? The answer is no. So we are where we are because everything is falling apart. And Chinua Achebe said before we were born, things fall apart because the center cannot hold. Before your situation became like this, we had caused the mistakes yesteryears. And the only way to turn this around is to become one in the family, become one in the community, become one under the chief. The chief must respect his people and know that the land is for the people, and the land is there to give the people food, and the land is there to give the people water. So if you, as the chief, give away the land, and it affected ordinary citizens living in the village to live a limbless baby, and in the face of this reality, those who kill the rivers, they are also killing you in your country. And I come to ask myself, is this all the reason why we delivered you? No. I will lead you. You will turn it around, whether your parents like it or not. It's time. As we come over here to look at Sankofa, we do, just as we read who we are, our products, client cases, ancestrally we used to do. These were the things we prepared as concoctions, and we drank it before we went out. We drank it before we got pregnant, and it goes on. And now those things change to be technically advanced this way. So now you have the product and you can take it globally. So while somebody is naming all his pharmaceuticals this way, that way, and whilst you are running to pay 400 Ghana cedis before you go to the Beijing clinic, and you may be calling from another place, from the US, UK, whatever, you are part of us. You know how much Chinese shops are flourishing these days. Heb je daarmee de hier transfers? Ik weiß nicht, ob das hier gerade. So,
alles was mit Derek.
es hat mit Derek zu tun.
This is.
Sharing is started. Yeah, from his side, everything is fine, but please stay here, baby, to help me. So now we advance our products into this form. And as we move down, you can see the way we set our shops. You can start with it wherever you are. Whether you want to be a franchise it, whether you want to make your own product out of it, all we want to see you do is that you create your own thing out of it. Let's move on, please.
Yes, please. So to our farms in Ghana.
Yeah, as you can see, as we add value to those things to reach the global market with it, so we can create our farms in Africa, and yeah, they are just growing the moringa seeds. And in fact, we don't deal in moringa. We don't deal in moringa alone. We have a whole pharmacist, but because we need to use the names of products which have been accepted here, that's why we take those few ones which are legally known here. But it's a whole pharmaceutical program we run over here. We are just trying to fit into the German legal system, even as we do the products here. That's why we have the moringa as a major product. On the other hand, we chose moringa because it's very, very fast in its developmental activity. You grow it, and within 3 months, if it is if it's the leaves alone we are harvesting, we start the harvest. If it's the seed, you yeah, klar. Okay.
Hello, Africa, is everything okay?
Yeah, we are just trying to check on the network, but I'll still move on because I have the screen here. So if you can hear my voice, then we'll move on. Yes, so as you can see over there, moringa is on the other side, a very, very international plant. It grows We can go to our people at work.
Great. I think we can now see you. Yeah, perfect.
Yeah. So as you see here, they are designing the barns where we store in the materials, and those doing the harvesting, from the harvesting to the processing. You also can see it here. We do the pounding sometimes so that the women will also have their traditional function go on. Then we go again. I have these things here to declare the love brewed in an African pot. What they call teas today, what they call tablets today, it all started from here. We grounded them on such stones. And today, if through the technology as we saw above, we could process it from this point to that point. And this is the way our items are delivered in Europe. We should never forget where we are coming from. If you go to areas like Techiman in Ghana, how do you call it, this place, Shai Hills, where our ancestors had done the grinding in the caves as they lived there at that time. This is the story that we have to sell as we promote our traditional African medicine and our environment and its riches. So this is processing in Ghana. Let's move on. Over here, this is our wholesale in Germany. And then we have the office. Yeah. This is the way we set up our shops. So over here, we are at the malls in Austria, Germany, Switzerland, Holland, and Britain. And our researchers, at the moment, we are meeting you here purposely to see, be it students who come to study over here, be it people residing there. If we have those facilities, then behind the big industry, there is nothing more than three major things. It is food, it is medicine, it is cosmetics. All those things grows on our trees. So if one has been able to fight through to bring it this far, and we can just tap into this fire, just like we do in the villages. You come, the first person who sets up the fire, everybody tap in and then feed the rest of the village as they all get the fire to cook. It's the same thing we will do over here. I already mentioned the 40,000 members who are working on the at the Ghana Federation of Traditional African Medicine. All we need is to bring our sectors together, meaning the scientific research institutions, the universities, the standard boards, the FDAs, and then having our products already advanced to create the pharmacists, to see the standard expected in the various countries. All we need is to put the 4 cardinal points together. It's only a document. This is our traditional thing. So if the Indians are running their Ayurveda and it's accepted, if Germany, for example, accepts India's Ayurveda in certain clinics, if they accept TCM, and to visit one TCM, you pay 500 euros. And you know the irritating part, what they are doing there is nothing special. After taking your herbs, right now, I hope we have some pastors here. When you remember the way we used blade to cut certain areas of the body, be it the how do you call it? The arm, the why is this thing? Just trying to get the video. Yeah, no, it's not there. Yeah. You need to cut this side of the face, you to, of the hands, you need to cut this side of the face, this side and whatever. If they cut it here and cut it here, there are special nerves that get into your brain. So the concussion they fixed in, they were only trying to infuse the veins, the capillaries and everything with a certain kind of substances that will activate your immune function. This is all what they were trying to do. And now we preach it as evil in the church, whilst the Chinese have taken that from Africa. And today when they do it over here, they have a special glass, they call it ventosa, and then they put the blood, the glass so that it will suck out the blood. And this is a way to detoxify your system, because when the blood has stayed in for some time, you need a certain blood group. After 120 days, it has to get out of your system and suckle out. And people run there and pay huge monies. And you are demonizing your own in the church. It is time we meet together to dialogue. What was going on in Europe before Christianity was dumped on us. It is time we dialogue what the Muslim world saw Africa to be before they took it all and infused their own into us. Sankofa, we are going back. Everything we did and everything we do is the best. Our farm clinic in Ghana, are you there, Derek?
Yes, please, I'm here. We're on.
Right. So just like you can see it over here, using the environmental materials, this is the way we design the houses. This is my hut. There I sleep. So as we already, architecture, the sustainable architectural design, this is the way we set up our clinic, because if one is really sick, you don't need a chemical fabric. You need a place where you can breathe beautiful air. And this place is just around the ocean area in Ghana, 60 kilometers from the beach, from Accra, and 5 minutes walk from the beach. So let us just make a picture of we establishing our clinics this way. And ancestrally, we know the philosophy behind traditional African medicine is not about, the philosophy behind a traditional African medicine is the body should not be sick. You live paramedically. You cleanse and purify your body just the way we take the gold from the dust and we purify it to become a shining substance. That's the way you have to purify your system to make it a shining substance. And that's why they give it the long word immunology. Immune is the ability to purify the system, and you do so by cleansing your digestive system, your pH system, your hormone system, and then the heart veins, and then the liver, and there are herbs for all these things. So as you are sitting here with me as a student from the Kumasi Science and Technology, you did into herbal medicine, you came out after 6 years studies, you are qualified to do both. You can prescribe herbal medicine and at the same time prescribe orthodox medicine. And we discriminate our own skin to the extent that if we employ our children in the normal hospital, you pay her half of the salary of the colleague who is doing modern medicine. Who told you slavery has stopped? It is here. Come to Germany. If you studied your modern medicine, and when you finish, you added a little seminar here, a little seminar there, and you could just put it on your status, Natur Heilverfahren. You are the God, because you have a little nuance of nature. Come to Germany. If somebody did that high practical thing, you don't put 200 euros down, your name will not be recorded. Just for you to consult. We've not talked of the medication. China made more sales in TCM 2019 more than Orthodox medicine. China estimates $98 billion in 2024 from its traditional Chinese medicine. The acupuncture, which opposite is we using the blade. Because if you only did anything to have some blood ooze out, information will be gathered. And that needle is going to tap into capillary, and then as long as it's a flowing substance, when you put that in there, information will just mix up and chemistry will take place. This is all what they are doing. $38 billion they estimate. As I share with you now, if I got 200 of the students from the Kumasi Science and Technology University, if I got 200 of them from Nigeria, if I got 200 of them from South Africa, name them. Immediately, we are setting up the pharmacists here. We need 4 people to work in one pharmacy, 2 shifts in the morning, 2 shifts in the evening. If you are going to English-speaking countries, we don't need any language barrier. If you are going to foreign countries, we need 2 of the born African children residing there and 2 of the Africans residents who have knowledge into the human sciences. As we come together, let us take minimum 100 shops to start with. And with that 100 shops, we make a sales of 20,000 euros per month. This is your 2 million euros per month, which is lying here. So if 100 shops could give you that much, what about 1,000 shops? And add it up. We are sitting there and we are talking of African continental trade. And I just saw recently somebody was just writing, what is the portion of the African youth? Your portion, I am ready with it here. And whoever that politician is, who is sitting on your right, let us come together. We will go there. We are not going to use any weapons. Your blood is not for them. You are sanctified children of God. You will live and enjoy your life just like they did. And it is time somebody got wisdom to know that person whom you are going to beg abroad, if he treated his youth like that, would you have had the money? Would they have had the money for you to come and take it? The youth is the resource and the source of every economy. Give them the opportunity now, whether they like it or not. As we join together, we will force them to do what they never thought we can do. And when they give us those documents, both ways, this is how we will liberate ourselves. Do you know how it feels? Have your president jetting into Germany? Oh my God, let me take a little break. Coincidentally, on my side, just around that week, when Ghana's president jetted him here, that was the time a woman was handcuffed on the ground by 3 German police. This one was screaming, "Warum, warum, warum?" This means why, why? And then she turned it into Ghanaian language, Adeng, Adeng. And this woman was only asking, is it just because I live? Is it just because I'm a human being? She didn't do any evil. It's just about the German status not allowing her because she is not legal to live in Germany. And this happened in the presence of her own children. People, it's time. I will have you bury me alive. You know what? My kids, they always come back and say, "Mama, today I encountered something on the road and I was happy we're not there." If I encountered any of that, I will jump and kill you, that police, and you kill me. Finish. Because your youth who came into our countries and you call them interns and you call them practicanten and you call them whatever, I lectured them and they came to gather the information, whether it's Americans' races, whether it's Europe's unemployment, they fed it all with Africa's resource. You are the buffet on the table, join me, you'll see where your liberation is. Thank you. Let's move on, Derek. Ah, Jesus. When I get into that area, I just get too much. For a mother to see a 17-year-old child, a 22-year-old child, handcuffed by 3 policemen, and they just hold you at the truncus thoracitas until it stops and you die. And these people are oozing your gold out, your diamond out. I am ready to talk to some chiefs. We'll get there. Over here, you can see the way we set up our clinics. As I told you, when one is sick, you don't need a chemical fabric. You need a place where you get fresh air, a place where you feel so special, like you are the only important person on earth. And this is what traditional African medicine does. So over here, we have our bathrooms, we have our kitchens, we have our treatment rooms, and we work together with the Afro shops. So if you take the yam alone, the hormone medication, the hormone chemicals in yams, which is extracted in designing medicine for menopause, if you knew it, would you allow a Sri Lankan to come and grow that yam at Bojase and carcass it with chemicals, which makes the yam, when you cut it, it's already having cancers in it. And that's what they come to sell to us in the Afro shop. And you go to Sugakope and they've taken the land in your face. Those chiefs, I trust there are some here. And whoever is over here on this platform having a relationship with a chief, I am here to lead you so that we go and educate them. I was there in Austria. I was there in Britain. I was there on the 5th of February 2011 at Berlin, Ihaka, where they divided that's your Ghana into pieces. I was there. Whatever your condition is today, I know the key. If you follow me, I'll open it and march you smoothly inside and tell everybody around. Black and white, just be quiet. I'm talking. So you can see the fitness area, and this whole activity was more about when we removed the, when we rearranged the furniture, we had like a 300 to 500 seater place where the people come in. So whether it is gospel activities, whether it's dancing activity, everything that we have culturally is medically what they call psychology. Because when you are sick, that 30 minutes to have that movement, be it your drumming, be it your singing, that is the regeneration of the cells you give your soul and your spirit and your body. So Africa's medicine, preventive, is cure without side effects, regenerative, a quality aging without all the evil being preached unto us today. Are we talking? My uncle will shudder to see a word not able to cure what? Ordinary infectious diseases in the lungs. We have what it takes. Let's move on, please.
Just to let you know, we have about 6 minutes for your session to end before we take the questions.
Hey, yes. Sorry for the breakings. Now we work it out. The problem was from here. So now we have this age people. This one is 28 from head to toe, having every teeth in the mouth. This one is 106 years from head to toe. She goes to the market herself. This old man is 101 years and she's got bigger. Here we have other activities we do. So as you see me, mostly over here, I am just describing to you most of the things you see as junk in Ghana. This is how we could make money out of it. I bring this group so that we just use our various professional fields to educate you what you need to do. If you studied into IT, if you studied into law, we have to put those resources together to negotiate our business front on the global market. Our textiles and designs. I mentioned already the Cape Coast University. Today, when I walk on the streets of Germany, Austria, and the others, and I see how through the Cape Coast University, your batik designs, your kente designs, your northern, your, how do you call it? Your Edinkra is all redesigned and sold over here. When we come together, we can do it. Just a piece of our cosmetics. This is the way we furniture our clinics. And this is a product also for the global market. Our sustainable eco-villages, where we want to gather our boys and girls, whom we name as vigilantic, robbers, whatever. We have technology to resettle them on eco farms where they will have their own animals and everything to operate. And when they do that, then we will not get them into those dangers. Over here, recently we did a donation to the Cape Coast fishermen who were banned from fishing. In fact, Ghana as a whole was banned from fishing for over a month, and you can imagine how it feels. Yeah. So what is Sankofa offering you? Business opportunities global. Take it. So Derek, you have to help me here. I don't have your picture. I'm at Mommy's place.
Yes, we are moving there.
Derek?
Yeah, we are at Mommy's place.
Okay. So I can share today with you all because of this pretty lady. We had our own slogans, which goes like, oh, Mommy, I love you. And because she couldn't speak the English, I love you, Wanana. Mommy left those words for me to share with you. A well-trained mind is vastly different from a fed-grown mind. Wisdom and intellect are worlds apart. A wise person lives sustainably. And you can see my uncle nearby. Today I can connect with you globally. And if we connected together, we are talking of global integration from whichever source we are coming from in Africa. This project we saw, you can tap it into it today, work with it everywhere. It's just about your own interest. No matter your professional field, we've seen engineering, agriculture, and it goes on and on. This coming together builds a nation. This coming together builds an economy. So with the farming activity, we have a program where we arrange with the chiefs, don't sell the land, give it to that young 28-year-old guy who is coming out and need the land, and then you get your percentage. These are some of the rules we have, and it's working. Because the chiefs sell the land because they don't have any income. Going back to the story I started earlier on, somebody took away their name and fixed it with that of politics. So they are left in between. And the same person who come to sell the land, we are from Ghana, we are from Kenya, we have land, come and take this, come and take that. When they take the money, and it's about maybe the trash they are going to clean, 4.8 million euros. Nothing happens, nothing, nobody sees the money. The chief has nothing, and he can only sell the land, but the other person came to invest. As we join together, I'm also going to show you the secrets behind a lot of those projects coming up there. Is targeted at killing your environment. We have certain chemicals, especially like glyphosate. If it touches one plant, it will never work again. If you don't join me today, in fact, they are all there screening it out to make it their own. So after listening to me, if you are not able to get anything out of what we have discussed here to tap into, to help Africa practically elevate, and I think it's your own fault. But I trust you are going to do so. So at last, you can see, Derek, I can't see your picture, but I believe you put my husband there.
Yes.
You put him there?
Yes, please. He's the one on the right.
Say a big thank you. A big thank you on your behalf to this man who has to endure it all. When he sees me load my Iveco bus full of medicines, traveling to Holland, Austria, whatever, he just looks at me and says, do you really need to do this? Because in fact, we don't need to. And then, if by so doing, one family will bring food on, and it's worth doing it. He endures a lot. And I say a big thank you to him, because when I'm gone, sometimes I'm gone for 6 months, he will take care of the family. Could you be able to achieve anything unless they agree? So I am who I am because of this background. And I have it to share it. Thank you so much for your time. I am sorry for the breaking in between. I traveled, and upon return, I had to change my VLAN, my network.
Yeah.
And I forgot because I was so focused on this, and this is what was breaking.
No.
Now I got the engineer in and he fixed it up for me.
I know. I mean, if I were there, I would have been there to help you out. Anyways, thank you very much.
Laughing at me.
Thank you very much, Mama, for this in-depth revelations that you poured out to us, and all of these ideas and solutions that you proposed to our audience. Please, does anyone have any questions? If you have any questions, could you please, within the next 5 minutes, please test your questions. I'll be reading the comments. From Obipet Prisla, she said, indeed, we have to go back for the old religion. And Ivy is saying, learning a lot, Mama. From Madam Jane Ugunro says, thank you very much, Mama. This has been wonderful. So this shows that indeed we've poured, Mama has poured a lot of things onto us, but it shouldn't end here, you know. It's not just about the talks or just you listening to what she's had to offer. And just like she said, we at Sankofa have some amazing opportunities, and we would like to also get more people involved in what we are doing when it comes to the same subject matter. Manufacturing wonderful products from our natural environment and then send it to the global market. Among other things, we are doing webinars to help more people to have a renewal of the mind, to improve a lot of lives, right? So if you are also interested in getting connected, okay, I see someone asking, how can we get connected? So I'm going to leave my contact here. If you want to get on board the Sankofa train, if you want to work with Sankofa, if you want to work as part of our global partners for our products and services, right now, I'm leaving my contact in the chat box. You can just contact me, and then we can set up a meeting and take it from there, right? Mama, do you have any more to add in that regard?
I just want to say the food is ready. Come and eat. Okay, all of you, my children, you don't need any complicated qualification, whatever. We are operating in all the fields. Besides that, if you have a specification that you want us to join with you for the realization of your dream, that one too we do.
Awesome. Thank you very much. So please, you can.
No, our own African market is a huge continent, a huge market somebody wrote. That's exactly what we are talking about. That's why we are saying it's global. And the project, whether it's the farming, whether it's the engineering, whether it's the furniture, it could be done everywhere. It could be done everywhere, just immediately, because we are already too late.
Yeah.
And we need to.
Awesome.
Yeah. And I trust that as you are in Ghana, Derek, you will do everything possible to get those who are fighting fix the country. What is fixing the country? If you are not in the capacity to produce that containers for the sales of the products, what is fix the country? If you are not willing to take in this opportunity, should they give you anything else for you to understand? You have to do it yourself.
Exactly.
Politicians are nothing more than administrators. Economy is built by the people.
By businesses, actually. So, I mean, I think that's very well said. So please, you can get in touch.
Business people.
Yes. You can get in touch by this number put in the chat box. When you write me on, you should write me on WhatsApp, preferably. When you write me on WhatsApp, please indicate that you got the number from the webinar, right? From Sankofa's webinar, and then we can take the conversation further.
Right? Add my number.
Yes, great. So to get in touch,
my number, add Sankofa's email.
Yes. So I'm going to add all of these details in the chat box. I'm adding my.
Not forgetting, excuse me, not forgetting, we want to have the groups in the different professional fields so that we guide ourselves into the global market we want to go.
So I'm adding Mama Africa's number. If you want to get in touch with her as well, so kind of her to want to put her number out so you can get in touch with her and then take any further if you have any questions or something. I think that would be good to ask her yourself through this contact. I'm putting it in the chat box. 231821733. Yes. And for Sankofa's email, it's info@sankofa.de. Great. So I've put all the contact information there. Please do write them down, note them down before we shut down the Zoom session, because we've run beyond our time, and it's still great to have everyone still stick and stay from the beginning till now. It's great. It means that this is of huge interest to everyone, and we are very happy to have this done. Valerie Love says, if it's possible to get a recorded video, can you send it to me? Okay, sure. Great. Elon, we are going to upload the video on Mama Africa's YouTube channel, right? So the YouTube channel for Mama Africa, you can, if you just go on YouTube, I'm going to send you guys a link now. If you just go on YouTube, you can find more amazing videos there as well. All our webinars have been recorded. You can check out all of these as well. Just give me a second while we get the YouTube videos.
As well, the videos.
Yes.
Derek?
Yes, Mama? Great. So if you go on YouTube and you search for Mama, I'll just copy a link. I'm just gonna paste a link for the YouTube channel here. Just give me a second. You can actually find all our all her videos, webinars as well. We've recorded and uploaded them there, so you can follow up on all of this directly on the channel. Let me just, and please subscribe. Please subscribe to the Mama Africa channel. Click on the subscribe button once you get in there and get all the videos that we're going to upload right on time. So I've just pasted a link here for everyone to have access to the channel. So please just click on the link ASAP, as soon as possible.